there's a feature built into your camera that you, as a new and focused photographer, need to be aware of: auto white balance. Think of it as an auto color mode, and while at first it may seem handy, all it will actually do is play havoc with your message building process. Well, that is, while it's an auto, of course. Once you take control over it, it becomes a useful friend in your quest toward independence and visual freedom. To understand white balance, we need a firm vision of how it works. The lines, shapes, patterns, and tones you see in front of you are based on the number of rods in your retina. These small cells receive information from the outside world and send it via electronic impulses to the brain. Cones, on the other hand, are cells in the retina designed to pick up the colors red, blue, and green. These colors are the only electromagnetic wavelengths that we can see. Our brains interpret these and mix them together with the tonal information sent from the rods to give us the view of the world we see. Since all of us have various numbers of rods and cones, our vision is slightly unique. However, thanks to closure and continuation, most of us see the world and the things on it pretty much the same. The sensor in our camera collects information very similarly. Red, green, and blue are collected, and the camera mixes them together to give us a look at the world. We can then tweak these colors, and this is white balance, to pull the scene more in line with what we see or what we want our viewers to see. For instance, if you're taking a photo of a road, let's say in the desert, and you want to leave an impression of heat with your viewer, you could simply adjust your white balance to favor more red in your image. If you wanted to give off a feeling of coldness within your image, then you could just adjust your white balance in favor of more blue in your image. And to be honest with you, as far as white balance goes, that's it. You either turn up the red or you turn up the blue. Nothing more. This does make perfect sense, by the way, that when you consider that the two opposite ends of the visible spectrum are red and blue. There are two ways to adjust your white balance, making things more red or blue. Some of the less expensive cameras have white balance presets that you can choose from. These include cloudy, shade, sun, flash, tungsten, fluorescent, while other cameras allow you to dial in your own white balance setting via Kelvin temperature. Of the two, you want to be able to dial in your own setting. There is no question of this. It's just easier. Without getting too technical, the procedure is simple if you have a camera that can be controlled via direct manipulation of that Kelvin temperature. If you want more red, turn up the heat. If you want the image cooler, turn the thermostat down. When you have a camera that allows Kelvin adjustments, you simply dial in a higher temperature setting if you want more red. The Kelvin adjustments usually send you from 2,500 degrees to about 10,000 degrees, with 10,000 being the reddest image you could possibly shoot, and 2,500 giving you the bluest. It's pretty much that simple. Presets. Now, presets work about the same way, except you have to kind of interpret the icons. For instance, on most SLRs, the presets run kind of like this. Tungsten is usually the coolest, offering temperatures in the 3,000 range. Fluorescence, a little bit warmer, though still blue. It's in the 4,000 range. Sunlight and flash are in the 5,000 degree range. Cloudy is in the 6,000, and house with shade is somewhere in the 7,000 degree range. Spend some time with your manual and make sure that you can quickly change these settings. It won't be that difficult. You want to change these settings for each of the images that you shoot depending on the message you're creating. Don't settle for average, especially when it comes to color. Choose what you want for a reason, and don't settle for anything else.